You know, the elite want those guns from the American people really, really bad. Because every time, every other month, when you turn on the news, someone's got shot. And I think these Illuminati, globalist, elite people are ready to enter into the next phase of global control. So that means really that the West has to basically be subdued. So that means they have to get the American people's guns. China and America owes China like trillions of dollars. And I think it's China who has called, yes, it has called for Americans to disarm. But before that, I'm going to show you a video on YouTube of the two reporters that got shot and killed.
A 24-year-old woman, Allison Parker. She was with her photographer, a 27-year-old, Adam Ward. We have watched the video, which was posted on Facebook. It captures the live shot that she was doing at that water park this morning. It is some of the most disturbing video you will see. It just deeply shakes you. This is a young woman. She's out there in the middle of a water park doing a morning report, and all of a sudden you hear this burst of gunfire. You see the young woman react. You can see her or hear her scream. We counted about 8 gunshots alone just as this video plays. You can see the photographer loses control of the camera. It pans to the ground. You don't see anything beyond that, just the chaos erupting, clearly just shaking the people who are back at the station watching this live, not to mention all the people who are out there watching this on air. They come to learn, they have confirmed this morning, that 2 of their employees, a 24-year-old, a 27-year-old, killed. No reason that is apparent right now. No shooter in custody, Carol.
It's just crazy. And like I said, this was a what you call a fluff live shot. You know, it was a morning show.
Story.
They were having fun. It was a feature story. They're at a water park. Brian, what can you tell us about this reporter and photographer?
In the 2 hours between the time this happened and the deaths were confirmed, of course, people at the station didn't know what was happening. What makes this all the more sickening is that both of the people that were killed were in relationships with other staffers of the station. You know how these small stations are, Carol. We're talking about a relatively small TV station in Virginia. People spend long hours together. They end up falling for each other. And so Adam Ward, the photographer who was killed, was engaged to a morning producer at the station. It was actually her last day on the morning shift. They were celebrating with balloons and cake at the station this morning.
So she literally maybe saw her fiance shot?
Yeah, you hate to say it, but yes, you would think that she would have been watching at 6:45, perhaps producing her last morning program. And Allison Parker, the reporter who was killed, was dating an anchor at the station as well. They're all at work, you know, the 2 surviving members of these relationships. And the station is now paying tribute. At 8:45, they came on the air. The general manager announced this, said it's been devastating for the whole staff, of course.
And at the same time as this station reels, we know that there is this active search right now for the shooter in this community. That means every precaution needs to be taken. There will be lockdowns that go into effect as they search for this person. There is someone who is key to this investigation, though. We know that this young woman, Allison Parker, was in the middle of an interview at this water park. She was actually live on air speaking to someone. We believe that that woman who she was speaking to was not injured, so she could be absolutely key, critical for police right now in identifying a shooter and describing the circumstances, which are so not obvious, not apparent to any of us who are watching as to what would provoke these gunshots. It's a 24.
Now, I think I heard that the President Obama had something to say, or this news that we reached all the way up to the White House, and I think they're saying that this is going to spark more issues about gun control. They're going to use this to make the argument that Americans need to basically disarm. And that's what I'm saying about them on China, trillions and trillions of dollars. There's a link there. Right here in this video. This video is done by the vigilant Christian Mario. It's called TV Reporter Shot Dead Live on Air. More Illuminati gun control is coming.
Following breaking news this morning out of Franklin County, news that has affected our WDBJ7 family very deeply. Our WDBJ7 morning crew was live this morning at Smith Mountain Lake when shots were fired around 6:45. And our general manager and WDBJ7 Vice President Jeff Marks is here. You can to tell us more about what happened.
Kim, it is my very, very sad duty to report that we have determined through the help of the police and our own employees that Allison and Adam died this morning shortly after 6:45 when the shots rang out. We do not know the motive. We do not know who the suspect or who the killer is. We do know that the Franklin County Sheriff, I just got off the phone with Franklin, in love.
As another way to further the elite's agenda and push us into the globalized system, the New World Order that they're trying to push us in. Now, for those of you who don't know, the elite, this secret society that I've been exposing on this YouTube channel, wants to take away your right to bear arms. They are all out attacking the Bill of Rights, specifically the Second Amendment, which gives Americans the right to protect themselves. They don't want the Americans to be able to protect themselves. No, because they're trying to overtake the country. So a population of people that is strong and able to defend themselves is not what the elite want. So,
See, right there what he's saying. They need to take the country over. They don't need all those guns in the way when they get ready to confiscate the land that the United States of America owe China. I'm gonna prove it in this next video if I can find it. Right. Here it is. William Falkett.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Today's story has to do with a story that I talked about years ago. And it was about a Red Dawn situation involving the United States and China. And how I felt that China could someday infiltrate the United States and try to take over because of how much money we owed it. Well, that could actually be pushing towards a reality. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to wake up this weekend and it's going to be a Red Dawn situation where there are Chinese troops falling out of the sky with parachutes and AR-15s and M16s and AK-47s shooting at the public. What I'm saying is, back in 2009, the Chinese government started talks with the United States about how we owe them so much money. We owe them like in the trillions as far as debt to them, because we've been borrowing money from them. If you look at just about anything that you buy, I would say probably about 85% of what you buy comes from China. It is made in China, okay, or Hong Kong. But still, a lot of the stuff is made in China. So we owe them money for this, but we haven't been paying them. We've got most of all of our funds here in America are locked up in bonds with the Federal Reserve that we can't even touch. The Federal Reserve won't even give the United States government money to pay back its debts because we owe so much money and we have everything locked up in bonds. So we kind of screwed ourselves when we locked everything up in bonds. You know, we were trying to hide our money. And, well, it bit us in the butt. Now, China has just come out. I'll put a link in the description box below so you can read the story for yourself. Is now having talks with the Obama administration, saying how they would like to own land and businesses here in the United States to pay for the trillions of dollars that we owe them. And needless to say, the Obama administration said, hey, that's not a bad idea at all. We owe you all this money. Maybe you should come and buy up our businesses, buy up our wealthy land, and that'll pay back the IOUs that we owe you. Well, not everybody in the government thinks that's a great idea. But, again, Obama doesn't always make the brightest decisions. So let's touch on that for just a second. If China were to come over, bring its people over here, open up businesses, use the land to build more businesses, and basically turn America into China America, where you have a lot of Chinese from China moving over to the United States to work in these businesses here in the United States on our land that will then be their land to pay back the debt that we owe China. That's going to, one, take away money from the United States. Two, it's going to take away jobs from the American people because you know that the Chinese are not going to allow Americans to work in their businesses, and if they do, they are going to probably pay them a lot less because of the money we owe them. So, in the long run, China's going to get its money back. And I'm sorry, but they probably deserve their money. They loaned us money. We did trades for, not trades, I would say we had business opportunities with them so they could make stuff for the United States, but we never paid them. They're doing all this work, they're loaning us money, and we're not paying them in return. But we say, oh, we'll pay you, we promise we'll pay you, but we don't pay them. Well, China's like, okay, it's been years now, and you still haven't paid us a dime. We want our money. So then China moves into the United States, builds its businesses, brings its people over here to work in these businesses for their country, make their country some more money, helps the Chinese economy that China builds. Their military builds. Well, then they start getting a little bit more greedy. They start wanting more. That's where the whole Red Dawn situation could come into play. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm just saying the idea is there. Because China is already upset with the United States. China has already said time and time again that they don't like the United States. They don't like Obama. They don't like her government. They don't like the way things are being ran. They are a communistic country. They don't like the way things are being ran here. They feel that we should run it the way they run it. And on top of all that, we owe them trillions of dollars. Well, if someone owed you trillions of dollars, I think you'd be a little bit upset too. Now, this isn't the American people's fault. This is our government's fault for taking all those loans and not paying them back for all the money that we owe them for doing the jobs we've asked them to do.
Now, they borrowed this money over probably a period of like years. I don't know, way before Obama even got in there. But as you see, he's saying that America owed China a lot of money, and they really don't have the money to just pay them back. So they're poised to ask for land and businesses to come over here and to put their people over here. They basically can take over the land and businesses and the resources in America. Actually, a large part of America will become China. But I'm going to show you this report I got it from InfoWars. And by the way, this guy's channel here, his name is William Fawcett. You can check his channel out later on YouTube. But let me head on over to the article. Here it is from Infowars.com. Communist Chinese government calls for Americans to disarm. See there? They like to always say Obama wants the guns, or Obama's trying to take the guns. That nigger is trying to take our weapons. But really, it's really the Chinese that's calling for the guns. It's the Chinese that's calling for Americans to be disarmed. And this is why all these shootings from Ferguson to Baltimore to the recent shootings of the two reporters. I think this stuff is what they call false flags. But the Illuminati, globalists or elite, whatever you want to call them, they want to push this disarmament of the American people. So when they have to come over here, they'll have to contend with a bunch of guns. But there's also a thing that's probably going to push us further into war with the Chinese. Here is a man. I really was looking for another video on YouTube I seen of a I think he was a preacher or a prophet. But anyway, he had a prophetic dream about the Chinese invading America. There are two people I have in my two videos I have to show you. But this guy's name is Matt Wondering. I think that's how you pronounce it. Matt Wondering. Um, this is what he said he seen in a dream.
I had another dream from God that I want to tell you about. God gave me the dream on the morning of August 3rd, so just this past Saturday. I woke up with this dream, and it's a long dream, but there's one part of it that sticks out to me that I remember. In the dream, there was a lady. She was sleeping in a hammock, and then a man came over, and he looked like, or like kind of he was, Yao Ming. Yao Ming is a famous NBA basketball player from China, like 7'6", big dude. And his name was Kim Jong-il in the dream. And he went up over to this lady who was sleeping in the hammock, and he punched her in the head and killed her. And that was pretty much the dream. And so I don't know the entire interpretation, but I'll interpret what I know. Yao Ming represents the country of China, and Kim Jong-il is the name of the former president, dictator for North Korea. So what I see is that China is planning on using North Korea to I don't know, go to war against another country or to attack another country, but they don't want to do it under their own name. They want to do it under North Korea. So that was sort of interesting. The woman in the hammock, not too sure what that means. Probably just someone who's really vulnerable and not expecting it. That's sort of what I see behind it. And someone who doesn't really stand a chance to stand up to China and North Korea. And I think that's pretty well all I have to say. Also, Yao Ming is a retired basketball player, and Kim Jong Il is a
All right. He talked about North Korea. If I'm not mistaken, recently, I think in recent news, maybe like a week ago, it talked something about North Korea, North Korea and South Korea. I think something was starting to brew up over there between North Korea, South Korea, and the United States. And if that's true, it looks like his dream um, is actually coming true. He published this video August the 6th, 2013. So that's been like it's 2015 now, so it's been like 2 years ago. But there's conflict between the United States and South Korea that could lead to a U.S. North Korea war. Now, I found this other video. It's made by by Son of God. I haven't fully looked at the thing, but prophetic dream, Russia and China attack the United States. You might want to check that one out as well. I'll probably post it on my Facebook page. But like I say, all these shootings and all that's been going on in the United States, a lot of black people have been being shot down unarmed. Why shooting us down unarmed? There's probably going to be an invasion from the Chinese. But why are they trying to kill Negroes up? They need to be watching out for the Chinese, because that's who's going to probably bust them in their behind. The Chinese, along with Russia and probably North Korea. A lot of the people that the United States think that they have under their thumb, a lot of these countries are probably going to turn on the United States. If you believe the Bible, the Book of Obadiah especially, it foretells it talks about Edom, how a complaint had reached the Lord's throne room, and how he heard the complaints of the people about Edom. But Edom really is the Edomites. The Edomites are the white race, or most of the European races like America and maybe Great Britain. But if you believe the prophecy of Obadiah, it says that most of the nations, like the heathen nations, along with the house of Jacob, were gonna take over and overthrow Edom. But I have to do another video on that particular book of the Bible to parallel what I'm saying, so people could see what I mean. But with the collapse of all the markets going on right now around the world, and it could be riots in the street when the system finally goes down. The China could use that as an opportunity, along with Russia, to attack us. For far as we know, But judgment is upon the United States of America, and we have to be prayerful about these things and prepare for the worst.